Oh, Mudita Heart here. This is PRpHD here.
Oh, do you record?
I am recording.
I'm good. I don't have to do the intro now. Okay, let's keep it like that. Okay, let's keep going.
This is PRpHD, and we're doing the spoiler review for The Flash now. Yeah, you might have joined us for the non-spoiler review. But boy, let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this spoiler review. And I guess maybe to start off, we'll watch the trailer, I guess.
This is the trailer.
The
Yeah,
spoilers in the trailer, too. Just to, I think they needed spoilers in the trailer just to... we'll get into it later. Okay,
they don't tell you anything on the movie.
Let's watch this
Story,
trailer.
I guess, yeah.
Let's watch this trailer here. So let's take a look.
Oh.
I'm going to mute this here.
Yeah.
Or mute this. Yeah, mute this. Alright.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe. So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one? Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not going to lose her again.
Time has a pattern that it can't help me live in. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. My face. You stole my face.
Of the drama movie, just
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
That's an interesting spoiler too that I didn't notice.
You can also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe.
Zod, we've been waiting for you.
As everything's in this
I
trailer.
created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want to know?
I guess we don't have to explain the plot at all.
That's really reminding me of everything.
You are.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
Yeah.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there may not be a future. What's the play? What do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm Barry.
This gives away
It's
the
a weird,
whole
it's a
movie.
weird way to end the trailer.
Barry, what are you doing? Our kids are gonna want to see this.
So they didn't do well in the theaters.
Oh, read where it all began. Read
you
The
go, yeah.
Flash. Flash,
Pretty much, yeah.
Flashpoint.
So they're really spoiling you what the movie's about. Well, they didn't tell you that's what the movie's about, but it helps, you know. They didn't say it wasn't.
Tell me something.
Alright, so that was,
The spoilers.
Flash.
Okay, we're done.
Everything's spoilers. Just how it plays out, I guess, isn't spoiled. They kind of do reveal a lot of the key plot points, I guess, that happen in the
They
movie.
probably released this like before I got to watch it. Yeah, I didn't know they had one with actual Supergirl in it.
I didn't see this trailer,
No.
yeah, even in the opening of this trailer, they kind of ground it as to what's the key conflicts, and this was an amazing shot in the movie, by the way.
Power Rangers has had this too, where they're flash blacking, but they're in the scene and stuff, which is pretty cool filmmaking.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they have this moment. Yeah, I didn't know any of
that
this
Ben
was happening.
Affleck was going to be in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going to be in this movie. at all. I feel like this trailer gave away.
That's the origin of Barry.
Yeah.
And you do it in media res, but still an origin story, which is interesting.
And then here's Zod.
Yeah.
I didn't know Zod was going to be in this.
Yeah.
Kind of like Chris Pratt to me. And then this is, I guess in this trailer it's a little ambiguous what's going on there. And then here, this is the big reveal. I think this is the thing that a lot of fans were clamoring for. His appearance by Michael Keaton Batman.
He's shown up in DC recently, 2010s, I think.
I think this sequence in Siberia where they're fighting, where Batman's fighting, is meant to serve. Just have a scene where Batman's kicking ass and stuff. They do save you from showing a lot of the spectacles of like the fight scenes and stuff in this trailer, so that's good.
Yeah, I didn't think about the Batman fight scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was able to turn his neck or not.
Yeah. And they don't tell you like how this.
Oh
how
yeah,
all these characters are meeting.
That's the main thing I want to talk about. Cards are definitely killed a lot of humans.
Yeah, I guess she's like the equivalent of Man of Steel.
Yeah, she's not.
Superman.
She's not the Christopher Reeve one.
Yeah, she's like. I mean, like she was
near death.
She was near death.
Yeah.
She's been like
And
depressed.
she's definitely not like from 1978. She's from like current year or whatever.
But they don't explain anything about what exactly they were doing to her, though.
Yeah.
But you can.
She's
kind
highly praised, but I'm not really sure the reason. To some extent, Ezra Miller too. Michael Keaton was pretty much hyped though. Even though like the government used the recording of his previous movies, Power Rangers style, and then it was the same thing.
Yeah, but anyway, where should we start with this spoiler review? Should we just go chronologically, I guess?
I don't want to do chronologically.
Should we talk about plot stuff, trailer, cameos, cast cameos again?
Cameos would be the main thing everyone wants. Do we want people to wait till the end for the cameos, or do we want the cameos now?
I don't know. What do you think?
For his entrance.
Like, we're doing a spoiler review. We're gonna talk about these things.
Honestly, we could just do a review of just the cameos, and then no one would care about the rest of the review, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that everyone's thinking about.
Oh.
So, if you've watched this, like if you're watching this spoiler review,
Yeah.
or you're gonna hear about everything in this movie in this spoiler review.
Yeah.
And this is gonna have heavy spoilers. We're gonna talk about the plot. We're gonna reveal plot things. We're gonna assume you know the plot. We're gonna assume you know all the characters and stuff, and all the cast and all that. So yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about in this review. And yeah, just kind of have fun with like all the stuff they build and all the intricacies they like,
Or the lack of intricacies.
or the lack of intricacies thereof.
Yeah.
This movie is like overall a thumbs up, but like it is like
Pretty entertainment for
it's very entertaining.
art, not so much.
Yeah, but let's talk about like what makes this entertaining, I guess. So
I guess Michael Keaton by himself, well, the rest of the cameos is pretty entertaining.
So just like as a baseline, what is this movie? What is happening in this movie? We didn't reveal what happens in too much in the.
So you want to talk about the universe stuff?
But yeah, this is a movie in which we're going to talk about the general setup for this.
Okay.
This is a movie in which Flash discovers he has the ability to travel so fast that like he can go back in time and undo things, and in doing so, he's confronted with this dilemma. Like we also see his origin story, where we see like his family gets separated. Like his mother gets killed, and his father just gets sent to prison, wrongfully accused. And then Barry like faces this dilemma. Hey, like what do I do now? Do I like travel back in time and risk the universe and the consequences thereof of traveling back in time that Batman warns him of, or does he not do that? I guess, and have no movie happen at all.
I was wondering about that early on. Like, are they gonna not have a movie? Like, yeah, like Bruce is like, oh, like, don't do that. It's like, okay, that's the movie.
Obviously,
like,
he's
you
gonna
should listen to Bruce.
Obviously, he's gonna do it.
And like,
but the thing is,
like, the Flash has been able to do this for a while. Like, I think the original Jay Garrick Flash can only go past like the speed of sound or something, whereas now he can go past the speed of light. Like Hanna-Barbera, Hanna-Barbera USA Network. I think he could do this, like with Black Vulcan and Superman. Like nowadays, they're just dilemmas and trauma and dilemmas with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus Watchmen and stuff.
Yeah, like he faces this dilemma, and he actually the reason why he actually goes forward with it is because he feels like he's figured it out. He's like, I know how to not result in any continuity problems.
Which
while
is
also
pretty
bringing my
naive.
family back.
Do you think this is problematic that he thought it was that easy?
I mean, he's pretty young. He's really hopeful. He's pretty
He's
traumatized.
2014, 2023. He's 27 at this point.
Yeah, and also I mean.
Also, he works for the police.
The whole conceit of this rests on the drama of like I was saying in the non-spoiler review is the Spielbergian drama of losing a family and stuff, and when you exist in that trauma, what are you willing to do to ease that trauma? And Batman's perfectly willing to be kind of like a father figure to him, to help him with that, but and he gives him his advice. But being the young person he is, he thinks he can better than that, and makes the mistakes that he does. But I think it's a naivete to him. I think it's believable that he would try this out. He seems impulsive and stuff in some ways, and kind of like I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's in a place mentally where he's settling. He's like, you know what? Maybe I will actually not do this and whatnot. But he thinks he's got the angle where he can actually make sense and stuff.
I mean, he's not the smartest character, I guess.
Yeah. He's not this tactician or whatever, So that's kind of part of the appeal of the Flash character is that he's kind of a dorky, kind of nerd and stuff. He's not this
it's weird too,
stoic Batman character.
You mentioned it, they had nerds picking on nerds in this movie.
What do you mean by that? Which thing? Do you mean?
When he's coming out of doing the forensic stuff, these two people in glasses make fun of him.
The co-workers of him. I don't know if they were people from previous movies or not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I don't know. Workplaces are like that sometimes.
I guess they don't make it clear if he's in Gotham or if he's in Central City at times.
It felt like playful jabbing, but it was kind of mean spirited. But they're like, "Oh, you're late again, man!" Yeah. Also, they made jokes about him having no friends too. That was.
They also don't do that. They don't cover it later, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. There's no time for it when he comes
back.
The
boss just disappears after a while.
Yeah.
Maybe he got wiped out of the timeline or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no time to go over all that. Yeah. So now he has friends in the new timeline. But there's even a moment where he's trying to make friends with Batman. Batman's like, yeah, I'm alone, and he's like, oh, you want to get something to eat, man? That's the Affleck Batman. So that's kind of the nature of the Flash character. He's kind of naive. He's kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, you want to grab a bite or something? He's like, not tonight, man.
Yeah.
And it's very different from the Batman character,
Yeah.
And the Flash kind of has in this movie. I didn't know this until you told me. They've revealed the Flash's origins of his family, the path he goes on, how he becomes a scientist, and then how he gets his powers.
He's in a multi-ethnic family, right?
I guess so, yeah.
I think the dad's not Spanish speaking, at least. I think he might have said some Spanish words, I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
I'm just guessing because, his last name's Allen or whatever, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get into his origins, and I don't know if Barry Allen himself is of ethnic origin, or if he's Spanish or Hispanic or whatever.
This is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks pretty Caucasian. He's played by Ezra Miller and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's the grounding of the movie, and it kind of propels the whole action of the movie where like he has to face the consequences
I would
of
say
like, him trying to do this whole thing.
artistically is the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, like they have it pretty tied together where
Otherwise there'd be no plot or whatever.
the emotional grounding of the movie is very tied to like why someone would do something as risk the multiverse, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes this movie work.
And on both viewings, I would say this was a good Flash movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And so and it is like based around his character's conflicts. There's a lot of other characters in this movie, but yeah, they're kind of like side characters to the main plot of like what the Flash facing his dilemmas and his demons throughout the story. And like he's the one responsible for creating all the conflict in the movie, and it's up to him to solve it.
Sort of the, I guess it's not, this is a spoiler review. He's the villain too, right?
He is also the villain. There's General Zod.
Yeah. Some of you said he was the villain, but I disagree with those reviews.
I think that's like the setup for it initially,
Yeah.
but like I think those reviews aren't going to get into the spoilers most of the time.
Well, also, like, God himself is sort of a spoiler, I don't know.
He's in the trailers.
He's in this trailer, not all the trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's in some like trailer images and stuff like that. But yeah, it sets up all the cameos. So yeah, with that as the grounding, it sets up all the potential for cameos, multiverse references, everything.
Yeah.
All
And
that.
it gets a little messy.
It gets a little messy. So
Like,
we can talk about all that. now.
Sometime, really, MCU is like, wow, this guy's gonna be in the next movie. They weren't quite. They sort of felt like a cliffhanger or set up for a new movie, but it wasn't quite a cliffhanger. This one sort of fails at that to some extent, especially with the ending.
So yeah, they're setting up how this multiverse system is gonna work in this verse, but it's kind of clumsy.
And I think
don't know.
originally they just wanted it to be a Flash, Origins, multiverse, not multiverse, crossover to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like clumsy. Maybe I would change my mind on that, but like that is setting up. I feel like it did go in different iterations and stuff, but like in the end, it kind of like leaves like the multiverse to be opened up in many different possible directions, even more so than the MCU.
Before
And, like,
the post credits, it felt like a really weird. They're definitely not doing that with. Should I say it now or should I leave it for later?
we're in spoiler time. Whatever you want to say, like this is people who've watched this before. Like I don't know.
I don't think George Clooney is going to be in the multiverse.
Yeah, I thought. I mean,
I think it might have been. It might be like not canon that doing it, but it's very confusing if you're do it that way.
Yeah, but anyway, I was thinking of like organizing this like before we get into that.
That's why I didn't want to mention it
all
because
the
I thought you were
cameos
going to organize it better.
Yeah, to organize it though, before we just get into all the cameos and stuff, we should talk about like how they set up the multiverse, how the physics of that works, or the metaphysics of that works in this universe.
Yeah.
So there's this particular scene where they set up the physics of this like particular creation of the multiverse by this version of the Flash, where like he travels back in time, he starts meeting people, he realizes what he's done, he's met like the past version of himself, he has succeeded in making his family work out. Some problems happened where now there's two of him, and then like he has to like figure out how to get back to his timeline where everything's fixed, but he's trying to get back, and then he meets Batman, who's like trying to explain to him how all this works. And eventually they like go to the Wayne Manor, and like Batman's like all weird and stuff, and they're like they don't even know what he looks like because he's behind so much of a beard and rags and stuff. Turns out it's Michael Keaton's Batman.
You mean when they're searching for other superheroes?
Yeah, they're looking for the other superheroes to deal with the Zod conflict. Also, that's the Zod conflict also.
Yeah.
And Zod comes
They're
back.
like, oh no, there's no Superman, which I think in itself is sort of like old comic book plot.
Right.
Yeah.
And they also like have the moments where like they're trying to figure out all the. Anyway, they're trying to find all the superheroes and stuff.
Because like,
But
this is like a crossover. This is our Ultron or Thanos or something. We need to beat this guy with everybody we got.
yeah, because like Superman is enough to beat Zod in the original timeline, but like they don't know where Superman is yet, and like we don't have a Superman.
It sort of feels like Alan Moore would do.
Anyway, I was gonna get to the thing where Batman explains the multiverse thing.
Yeah.
So Batman's explaining the multiverse. He's like, yeah, you've probably seen Back to the Future, right? You think like, here's two spaghetti strings, right? And spaghetti is a timeline that's linear. It goes from the past to the future. Past, present, future. Then when you go back in time, you create a branch of the timeline. Spaghetti string branches off from the original spaghetti string. That creates a branch timeline. Well, actually, you've created is another version of this timeline, you know, where there's two strings and they're laid on top of each other. And it's like, wait a second, yeah, how come Eric Stoltz Back to the Future? That's even before I was born. That's even before any of the moments I affected. Even the past has changed and stuff. Yeah. Even the past has changed. How's the past changed even before the junction point? That's because, like, now there's two spaghetti strings crossing over, and it creates a fulcrum. Follow me here. Where, like, now not only is the future changed, the past has changed from this junction
I guess we
point.
don't need to really explain this, because it's in the movie, and it's explained pretty well.
Yeah.
Opposed to, like, if we miss one part or rephrasing the wrong word, and then it's all screwed up. Like, it's in the movie.
Anyway, yeah, you've seen this, and it's spaghetti, and now some parts are close, some parts are different, some parts are wildly varying. Now, like, Kara Zor-El is meeting Michael Keaton, Zod, who's the same, but then Ezra Miller is completely different. Like, it's all scrambled up now. Like, now he's created a universe where everything's scrambled up. And now he's also potentially created another... The whole multiverse is completely scrambled up now, too. Because at the end, I was thinking, like, does that mean, like, by undoing the events of this movie? By, like, having
this is the thing we talked about in the break, and it was driving me nuts. I couldn't forget this.
Yeah, it felt like he had this emotional arc where he realized, hey, I really have to accept that, like, this is the way things have to be. And, I've learned my lesson, and... Yeah, he's had this emotional closure with his mom and stuff, and yeah, it's this big poignant moment. And then he comes back to his timeline, and it's like, well, but he doesn't have that closure. It's like actually like kind of super secret, like, oh, I have to go to court, yeah. And then my dad's exonerated. Oh wow, this is great. And then oh, this girl likes me. Oh, this is great. And then also George Clooney's here, and the timeline's all still mixed up and stuff. Maybe everything I did didn't matter anyway. So, I don't know. It feels like it cheapens the moment there for me emotionally with that ending. Multiple ways. Yeah, that's how I felt about that ending. But I don't know. It seemed like they were really trying to, like, please everybody. We're like, yeah, we want it to be poignant and emotional. But also, can you make it open to, like, other cameos and other multiverse stuff to happen down the line in future movies and stuff? And also make George Clooney there. I like George Clooney. That'd be really cool. And also, he's one of
the lead A-listers of Hollywood for the past 30 years.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to bring back Val Kilmer, and they already brought back
Michael Keaton, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. So they were like, I guess we'll do George Clooney as another. They packed in as many Batmans as they could. The other thing they could have done is Robert Pattinson, I guess.
Robert Pattinson would have been good, yeah.
They could have done Robert Pattinson.
I thought about that, yeah.
They couldn't do Kevin Conroy. They couldn't do...
They could have done Kevin Conroy. That wouldn't have made sense.
Well, he's passed away. You know?
But not by then. He would have been alive while they were filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a voice actor anyway. You wouldn't know who he is. He's not like a George Clooney or whatever.
He does show up in the CW Arrowverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like TV. And then you can't have Adam West, you know. So you gotta have George Clooney, you know. So you just narrow down the list, you know. I'm thinking like an executive.
You're the first Batman.
I'm terrible. I'm not the first teller. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking like an executive there. I got a little too caught up in that. Yeah, Adam West is great, but he does appear in this actually.
Yeah, that's
he
the
does appear in this.
It's really weird. He appears in this, whereas like,
So that'll bring us to the next main spoiler talk we want to talk about, is the multiverses cameos and then the climax which is also at the same time.
Yeah.
So spaghetti scene's in the middle point where they're explaining the multiverse. The ending we just explained that we were dissatisfied with, whatever. And they did open up in the post-credits that it's Zack Snyder's stuff too. You probably heard about it. But apparently in the post-credits, Aquaman appears from Snyderverse. So, yeah. And, yeah, that seems to tie in with the whole possibilities of the universe being restored but also mixed up at the same time or whatever. Anyway, I don't like the term spaghettification.
No. I did think about it, but then I realized
Okay.
I did.
Okay, what was that look?
Or it's probably by Adam West, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let's get back to the
Do you
multiverse's
think we need
camera
more
scene.
AC or we need to take a break or what?
25 minutes in, we can turn the AC up.
Yeah.
It's on fan mode now.
Okay.
It's like reached equilibrium.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, what about the climax? Multiverse's cameo and stuff. Like, this IGN article talks all about that.
I think you have a lot of questions for her, right?
Uh,
For one in particular, which I hope they don't show over there, because, like...
Okay, so...
There's, like, whole YouTube videos dedicated to this all over YouTube that are getting, like, millions of views, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this is very much for the fans. They want to have all the references.
The comic book references, like, oh, I remember that guy. Or
So,
the
yeah.
movie references.
So yeah, they have.
comic movie
So
fans.
this very prominently features Michael Keaton. Then in the.
I guess we should talk about Michael Keaton and Supergirl first before we talk about the cameos, right? Or you want to go straight into the cameos?
I don't know. What do you want to say about him? I'm pretty tired. I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were tired, yeah. Okay, let's go into cameos, right?
So in the climax of this film, there's the cameos, which is at this, you know, the moment where past Barry is like realizing, oh, we can just go back in time as many times as we want, and then it has catastrophic consequences.
It's all triggered because, like, he sees, like, Kara and the Batman that he's always known in his universe die. He's like, no, this can't happen in my universe. And he's like, I gotta go and change the timeline and everything.
Yeah, and then eventually, and like the Barry we know is like, oh, this is a fixed point in time, man. You have to talk. This is a fixed point in time. You have to realize that this has to be the way things are, and yeah, but it results in like the Dark Flash and stuff, and then the universes start to collide, and you start to see all these multiverses collide. So here we see stuff like Mr. Reeves Superman, the Adam West Batman.
I have a very big comparison between those two cameos.
Yeah.
One of them is live action, and he's carrying a bomb. The other one's probably the worst CGI I've ever seen in the 2020s.
Yeah,
or
really,
2023.
really bad CGI. For
There's
like
it looks like PlayStation graphics. All the buildings aren't fully rendered. There's no humans in the background or noises or anything.
Yeah, I suspect they use like some kind of AI technology or something.
I was expecting the AI for like the whole thing, yeah, or for, like
Yeah.
what you said before, the fractals.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Helen Slater's Supergirl is in the sequence too, next to Christopher Reeve's
For the
Superman.
first time ever in a thing, even though it's posthumous and not actually them physically.
We also see some black and white stuff like the Jay Garrick.
Yeah, from the 60s or whatever it was, TV show. Which
That-
makes sense because it's a Flash movie.
Yeah, because you want to see more Flash and stuff.
Yeah, like Reeve
Yeah.
doesn't really belong there, yeah.
There's also like a 1950s Superman or something I think we see.
Yeah, George Reeve, right?
George Reeve? Okay.
Yeah.
George Reeves Superman.
George Reeves, Christopher Reeves, so George Reeves, yeah.
George Reeves Superman.
And like, Christopher Reeve's Superman sort of does work if you do like the whole rotation of the Earth thing. Like, they don't do that, so like, it sort of doesn't fit, I think, because they don't do that.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, in Watchmen, spoiler,
It doesn't matter, like, I think it's fine, yeah.
well, the first superhero has a similar name to,
Oh, okay, I know.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
remember, yeah.
so maybe that is a spoiler for Watchmen. Anyway, maybe that's something for a Watchmen discussion or whatever. Yeah,
But
that
if
would-
you've
that'd be
watched
better
it, you know
for
what I'm
a
talking about. Yeah.
discussion, yeah. But anyway, and then of course Nick Cage's Superman is there. So and also in AI CGI or whatever. Who is Nick? Okay, I've been meaning to ask you this. You kept telling me to ask you this during the podcast. What is this Nick Cage Superman? Is this an actual Superman from anything? Like, what is?
Yes and no.
What is it?
It's from Tim Burton's Superman Lives that never actually got released.
What is that? Is that a movie that not got released? Or
Yes.
what? Is it? Did it come after Batman Returns?
I don't know the actual. I forget which year it was, but it was based off like the '90s, which is why he has like the long hair, like because that was the Superman at the time, and he was like in the black and white like Superman outfit. You can check for photos online for it.
Nick Cage's. I think I can just click on this, huh? Oh, every cameo in the multiverse sequence. George Reeves is Superman. Adam West's Batman sprinting down the street.
I like how you're reading that, yeah.
Distinctive stentorian voice can also be heard. Christopher Reeve's Superman and Helen Slater's Supergirl. The two Kryptonians never shared the screen until now. One world depicted during the climactic Chrono Bowl sequence is the Earth inhabited by Reeves Superman. Nicolas Cage's Superman. Most confounding surprise because it's an homage to a DC movie that was never made. Cage was casted as Kal-El and director Tim Burton's
Maybe they
Superman
tested him
Lives.
with a suit and like some background settings, but it wasn't actually filmed. I don't know. But there's footage of it.
And Chris Rock was Jimmy Olsen. A selection of Pittsburgh.
That I didn't know about it.
And Pittsburgh was a shooting location for Metropolis.
That's probably why they canceled it. Like, you can't have Pittsburgh be Metropolis. Are you kidding me? I like Pittsburgh area, but it can't be Metropolis.
The debacle was chronicled in the 2015 documentary
Yeah, there you
The
go.
Death of Superman Lives What Happened.
Yeah.
Jay Garrick.
Which is so weird to have at like such an emotional point of the Flash film, where it's like, oh, you gotta worry about your mom, and like not destroying the timelines. And then you have like Nicolas Cage showing up in a movie that no one's ever heard of, that never got created in it, just for the sake of a cameo.
Okay. Yeah, this is an IGN article written by Jim Vejvoda, posted June 16, 2023. So just heads up for that, giving credit. And then this Flash article, post-credits scene and ending explained, was written by Jesse Shadeen and Kim Horscher and Jesse B. Gill, posted June 23rd, 2020. But yeah. Let me see. Yeah, that's the Chrono Bowl sequence. What do you think about all that stuff? Fan servicey is one of the first thoughts, or like actually an interesting use of like multiverse.
I thought my first reaction was like it was terrible because like no one's gonna understand. First off, Nicolas Cage never happened, and you have Adam West running down there with the bomb, and Adam West is alright, but like Nicolas Cage himself is like sort of, I don't know, it's sort of like a weird cameo, even if he wasn't in a movie before. As like it's so like you have to do a lot of research to know what that is. I think it has nothing to do with this story that they're trying to tell.
Yeah, that was a very dramatic moment in the
Yeah.
film, and then we see Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Like, imagine if they
That's
had
pretty
like
inexplicable.
Joe Pera as Superman for some odd reason, or like who else would be a Superman that would really take away? That's never been in a Superman film before. If you've never known him, that it'd be like totally take away from the experience.
Jim Carrey, I don't know.
Gary,
Even though he was already the Riddler.
um,
I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I'm trying to avoid saying something controversial.
too mean or
Just-
something.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Yeah, just someone you wouldn't expect, you know.
Yeah.
And it's pretty random. Like Nicolas Cage is it's pretty random. But I think they were trying to capture like it seemed more fan servicey at that point. Like I feel like you could argue they were trying to capture this is a huge range of multiverses that are colliding. So to really capture that, you gotta show a really random universe here to show you how many universes are at risk. You're putting everything in danger, Dark Flash. Really? Are we losing a lot by
destroying Adam West and Nicolas Cage's universes?
Also, I wasn't sure. There were 2 universes that collided during that sequence.
Yeah, it was in the Christopher Reeve, Helen Slater one, and I guess because like they probably can't use them, and like Helen Slater's probably old at this point.
Okay. And then what was the other one that collided?
I don't know what the other one was. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if they were wiped out or if they were combined.
Yeah, it's also possible. You could argue, like, that like there's multiple universes where they exist, and
because like the story, this is the story says this, yeah.
Yeah, this was one of my biggest questions.
And there's 2 Ezra Millers, yeah.
There's 2 Ezra Millers. There could be multiple. This is another thing: is that there could be multiple Michael Keaton Batmans out there in the universe.
Or like Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney universe.
Yeah,
where he just morphs to different people in the middle of the universe.
Yeah, but there could just be multiple universes where there's Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
Because, like, maybe you could argue the original continuity was there, and then, like, because, like, technically, the universe where Flash, the alternate universe that Flash created where his mom lives and stuff, apparently that universe is supposed to die, or at least that world is supposed to die.
Right.
Because there's no superheroes, there's no Supergirl, there's no Flash after a certain point, there's no Batman, and there's no existence of Cyborg, there's no
Aquaman,
there's no
Aquaman.
There's no Aquaman. So
Marty McFly isn't even. I mean, Michael J. Fox doesn't even star in Back to the Future anymore.
So it's kind of ambiguous what happens in that universe, but it seems like there's no Justice League. So then General Zod takes over. That I guess is what's meant to happen in that in that Earth or whatever.
Yeah.
Seems like the case.
And that's probably why that 2014 Barry couldn't handle that reality. Because like, this is home. They could have added more time to that, but like, it's like I can't have my whole life wasted. Like, especially when like. He lived a world where his mom never died and stuff, Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty dark universe, and it seems like the universe
starts off so optimistic, also,
Yeah, and the universe is only created initially when
2023 Barry alters it,
creates the multiverse,
Yeah.
creates the multiverse as a whole, by altering it there. Yeah, this universal, the spaghetti rules kind of like make it open as to whether or not these things are the same as the ones you know and grew up with.
And like they can shift from the past to the future and the future to the past, from like how the past, like what Michael Keaton explained with that stuff.
Yeah, or if like all the continuity of the movies that you saw are different or slightly different or the same or I guess I said all those possibilities, but or even filling in the gaps of stuff that you did see, and there's even more stuff that's happened since then and stuff. So it's very, very open-ended what this sets up for this multiverse. MCU has different rules for their multiverse stuff when they set that up. They set it up differently from the time travel stuff and like Back to the Future rules and stuff. But yeah. So it's very open-ended. They can take it a lot of different directions. And it's kind of good having that freedom because it means they can play with the past and stuff.
But sometimes you have too much freedom.
Yeah, I really don't know where they're going to take it now.
Should we talk about the ending?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Yeah.
So George Clooney shows the ending.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you really...
Is this the George Clooney we saw in Batman and Robin? Or is this a different George Clooney?
Is he going to show up in he has no contract with Warner Brothers on another Batman movie, so even though he's playing Bruce Wayne and Batman, so like, it sort of feels weird that they're showing it and they're going to set up a multiverse thing.
Yeah, and even some things we were reading mentioned how even Ezra Miller could be written off as Flash and replaced with another Flash.
There's rumors Gal Gadot's going to leave now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The whole thing's collapsing.
Yeah.
I think
this all started with like the Scarlett Johansson pay cuts and stuff.
Yeah, they just started trying to set up this multiverse stuff, but it's all collapsing at the same time. It's really weird timing. So yeah, and then also the
Originally,
Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me finish this.
That's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then the Robert Pattinson Batman is supposed to be in Elseworlds apparently now. Apparently that's not.
That was
which
always
is
sort of the case, but it was never in the Snyderverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Joker. Yeah.
And with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah.
So like yeah, these are in maybe Elseworlds, which is like the DC comic label for like alternate
It makes it sound
stuff from
more prestige than What If.
Yeah, it's like What If basically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We talked this to death. I don't know. Is there anything else we got to mention here? We went over all the main points.
Yeah.
Storytelling's pretty good. Very entertaining. Very engaging in terms of the sci-fi. The General Zod's kind of boring.
Supergirl's sort of boring.
Supergirl sounded boring. Michael Keaton could have done more.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Batman. Did we talk about the pandering of the Batman '89 theme?
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that yet.
And like all his like the one-liners that he does that are straight from the
like,
old movie.
We were talking about it in this non-spoiler review,
Yeah.
but let's reveal it now. Every time he appears on screen, they start playing.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun dun. They just obnoxiously play it just in case. Oh, it's him! It's him, everybody! Don't you remember him? We know it's him. You don't need to play it every time. And we just watched this film after watching Elemental, the Disney Pixar film. This movie's so much louder.
At least,
And it just-
no,
it
it's
just
only
blared.
louder. It's only louder when they play the Batman '89 theme.
Overall, it was louder, I think. But yeah, yeah. But then also, but it feels especially loud when they're playing the Batman '89 theme.
To be fair,
Because
I
of how
get quite a
obnoxious
rush
it
from
is.
it. I feel like that's the rush you get when you're on the rock and roller coaster and you're the Aerosmith theme, or you're like in that Universal Studios.
But it's like totally off when like they're in the middle with battle with General Zod and like Kara is dying and stuff, or whatever, and then.
I think even when he's doing like the kamikaze stuff, like it feels like they play the music when he does that.
Yeah, and then also like he does it again, and he's still, it still doesn't work out, and they still
Right,
playing
they
the
do that
music.
twice. He does twice, and they play it.
Yeah, they keep playing the music, and he's like,
I guess they should have to come up with more music for him. Otherwise, they just play the same song over and over again.
I do okay. Just to give it fair credit, like to that scene where he dies again, it seems like when he's talking to Flash,
Yeah.
it's like almost like he's the father figure
Yeah.
stepping in there, saying like, "Hey, you gotta let it go.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work out this time, kid."
Yeah, he never got a Robin, right?
Oh, interesting.
I feel like
Yeah.
what they tried to do with Ben Affleck and this Barry Allen is also like a Batman and Robin duo too.
Yeah, he's like definitely like a father-son dynamic between Batman and Barry Allen here.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like he's talking to the alternate, like the Barry Allen from the other universe,
Yeah.
the responsible Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Because like he can't really talk to the 2014 Barry Allen because we can't let the adults talk here. like we can't have that conversation right now,
He's a
man.
freshman, right?
Yeah, he's a freshman in college, in high school, I think.
Oh, no, it's 18 years old, so it has to be college.
Oh, he's 18, freshman
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not ready for these conversations,
Yeah.
and yeah, and like he's immature, and like that's kind of what I feel like they try to explain that as like
he
that's
tries
how.
he tries to use this hip lingo they made up just for the film, as if he was like Marty McFly's kid in Back to the Future Part 2, where he has like the inside out pants and stuff.
He looks like Ted from Bill and Ted. I couldn't help but think that while watching this. The
His long
hair
hair,
out,
yeah.
the long hair, the long dark hair.
Where he's played by like Kevin Bacon or something.
Yeah, and like it's like kind of like it's a very 80s vibe, like dude surfer kind of vibe and stuff. Yeah. Also, there's like this is like sort of like a Justice League movie. There's only 4 Justice League members in this one. It's like, yeah, they're just not around. Well, also, we got to save on the budget here, folks.
I mean, they told you.
And also, we got a new character here that we've never seen before.
I mean, they told you about the actual Justice League and the rest of the Snyderverse before, like when you're talking about the budgets and stuff, right? Like, there's only like 7 members or whatever it is. They're only missing Cyborg and and who's the other one? And Aquaman. That's the only one they're missing.
Yeah, we also got an extra Flash lying around. You know,
we have these two Flashes and the same actor twice just because we're running out of members.
Yeah, so like, yeah. Look at all this footage of other superheroes we can see. And even actors we never hired. You know? Yeah, and you can watch a documentary about, you know, how we never hired this guy. It feels very weird because, like, when MCU was building their multiverse, they established everything before turning it into a timeline, time travel kind of stuff.
It took them like...
Here it's like really...
It's like the end... When the MCU did it, it was like the end of like 4 phases or whatever it is.
Yeah, they got to build up to it. Here it's like they really never had firm footing the whole time. And it's always like struggled in the box office. And now they're already trying to turn it into a multiverse. They're kind of jumping the gun a little bit, it feels like. But I feel like with this as the grounding, it works really well.
Yeah.
As like I feel like
I felt like it did it better
point.
than like into the Spider-Verse when they tried to do origin and crossover at the same time.
Yeah, and as we mentioned,
multiverse at the same time.
Yeah, and when we went into the non-spoiler review, we mentioned how it did it better than Multiverse of Madness.
I think it did better than Endgame.
Yeah.
And the special effects too.
Yeah, and that's more world building stuff. You know, than like storytelling or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the grounding of the story is good here. But yeah, I don't know how well this is doing financially. Actually, let's take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes first.
Yeah.
Wow, critics score 89%, audience score 59%.
I mean, that's still above 50-50.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know what people are talking about online.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Flash box office mojo.
Felt pretty busy while we were there.
Wow, this is not good. So domestic is 87 million. That's pretty high. International is 123 million. It might be early though.
It's only been like 2 weeks.
Okay, that's very early.
I feel like this week is something better. Yeah?
Worldwide is 210 million. Pretty good. Pretty good. Widest release 4,000 theaters. Okay.
Well, this is really cool for like the number of countries.
Oh, they even allow you to check by original release, domestic.
Yeah, they do that now. Yeah, like the Lion
international.
King. Yeah, the Lion King 3D.
Cool. Yeah, it felt like they were trying really hard to play up the angle that like this was, you know, not just about.
I mean,
Flashes.
to some extent, like you have that with Iron Man 2.
Oh
Iron
wait,
Man also where like Iron
this
Man.
is
like,
this
Black
is
Widow or something
Arrowverse
like that.
Flash.
Oh, this is Arrowverse Flash. No wonder.
Okay, ba.
My bad.
This is so confusing. It's called the Flash.
I know that's the main problem with looking up the Flash on this. 65% alright.
Yeah, that's better than some of the other things we've seen actually. Yeah, tomato score is 65%.
Popcorn score is really
audience
high.
score is popcorn score is 84%. Very good.
I guess both Flash franchises aren't doing too bad.
And box office, yeah, not bad. I feel like when the international box office kicks in, yeah.
We'll see if it does. It might just stop at 400,000, I think, but
It's
whatever.
I enjoyed the movie. It has a lot of flaws. I feel like they had to put in the flaws to like either please crowds or please executives or something, just to get this universe started up again. I feel like that, you know, a lot of early cinematic universe stuff feels like it has to like just kind of prove itself before it can start getting interesting. That's kind of what happened in MCU, I think, and yeah. So yeah, it is weird how like this is sort of like simultaneously a late stage cinematic universe thing while also being an early stage cinematic universe thing because it's a new. They have a new vision.
Producer. They have a new James Gunn or whatever.
Yeah, they're setting up the executive.
Now, like he
producers and stuff.
hasn't even been around for like over a year yet, right?
Yeah. They're trying to do 5 movies this year.
Yeah.
There's too many movies, and then there's also going to be Indiana Jones and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very crowded
Like Marvel, they have like nothing.
box office slate this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. People want to get the money while the money is getting good and stuff.
Yeah.
we bought tickets for Asteroid City and we couldn't even watch it. You know, cost us 50 cents though we talked in non-spoilers about how we're using Regal Unlimited, but yeah, it only cost us 50 cents for Asteroid City. Couldn't even watch it, even though it was like basically free at that point. So yeah, this has gone on long enough. I feel like we're reaching that point.
Yeah.
Pretty good movie. I'd say watch it. It's worth a watch. It was a good popcorn movie. Yeah, have a good time. Maybe not great for like older people.
And that, like, okay, you go ahead, yeah.
Maybe not great for older people who aren't into the whole multiverse of comic book heroes thing.
Or sci-fi, if you don't like sci-fi.
Or like, or not great for like small children, you know, who like to, you know,
who don't understand like that kind of sci-fi stuff.
Yeah. If you're a parent who wants to bring their kids to see it, and it doesn't matter if they understand or not, maybe that's fine.
I'm trying to remember if there's a family in there while we were watching.
It seemed like there was.
Yeah.
I feel like the kids were like 8 or 9 or something. That's an okay age, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't too violent, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like they edited it so it was pretty safe compared to like Man of Steel.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Man of Steel like has a pretty curvy stuff in it.
Yeah. Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Worth watching. Check it out. And yeah, we'll talk about Elemental next time, I guess.
Yeah.
Any other closing thoughts?
Yeah. You pretty much know why I graded it. It's sort of a retelling of Man of Steel, and well, you guys already know that, so I don't need to say it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
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 All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. All right. Enjoy the movie. It's still out. It's still pretty early.
There's a lot of releases for it.
Yeah,
there's like 10 like in a small theater that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of show times. It wasn't too packed. It was Sunday during like summer blockbuster
I felt like
season.
it was getting to half full, or at least like 2-3 rows full.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad.
It was like only half the rows.
And we only reserved our seats one day before it.
Everyone else came like really late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when they ordered the tickets, it was really
okay,
late.
tough question. Would you recommend this above Elemental or?
No, that's not tough question at all. I recommend Elemental above this.
Wow, okay. I feel like if you're wanting more action, then watch this. And if you want DC stuff, watch this. It's good as a DC thing. But like as like an
and
art,
sci-fi, yeah.
Sci-fi, superhero stuff, action, you know,
Less
multiverse world building. You want to follow what's going to happen in the next movies. I feel like this is going to be pretty key to understanding how that works.
If you want a less political film, watch this.
You want to watch an alternative to MCU. You know, you don't want to support Disney and let them get all the blockbuster money.
Yeah, like this is probably the best DC film that's out, since the Nolanverse.
I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah.
I haven't really followed them as much, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would believe that. Because
it's better than Endgame. It's better than Multiverse of Madness, in my opinion.
Wow, I liked Endgame a lot.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. But yeah, if you want an art piece that's more emotionally resonant and like
you should probably watch Asteroid City.
Oh yeah.
Actually, no. I actually picked Elemental over Asteroid City. Even though I haven't watched Asteroid City.
We haven't watched Asteroid City.
But I'm guessing Elemental will be bigger than Asteroid City, even though I haven't watched Asteroid City yet. Elemental is just that good.
Elemental does a really good job. It has a lot of similar themes to this.
It felt like peak Pixar with like Up, WALL-E, and Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. And like that's also accessible to more audiences, small children. Yeah. Millennials.
You gotta be careful before we start reviewing that movie now.
Yeah. But, yeah. Alright. We'll get into that when we get into that movie. We watched those two in the same day.
Yeah.
Today. So.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway. We're already wrapping up. Let's really wrap up now.
Right.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Happy watching.
Don't screw up the timeline.
Alright, take it easy.
Bye.